Good morning, everyone. Our lesson for today, which is module number 4, is about identifying regions under normal curve corresponds to different standard normal values. So for module number 4, we do have two topics. So the first one is this one, and then the other one will be discussed later. So for this module, we do have two objectives. The first one is to identify regions under the normal curve corresponding to different standard normal values. Then number two, converts a normal random variable to a standard normal variable and vice versa. Okay, so for this specific lesson, we're going to use the z-table, or also known as the table of areas under, actually it is the common the common name of this table is table of areas under the normal curve, but in simplified form, it is also known as the z-table. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so there are positive and negative values there. So these are the positive values, and then meron din siyang uh, for negative values. Okay, so you need to have a copy of this one. Do not worry, I will provide one in our Google Classroom. Okay, so the definition of the z-table is that so it is a tool wherein you can easily identify the area of the regions under the normal curve. So that's what our lesson is all about, no, for today. And then, so, ayan, just like what I've said, table of areas under the normal curve is also known as the z-table. So this table gives the area of any value of z from negative 3.99 up to positive 3.99. So the value from this table will describe the area of the specific region of the curve. So to the left of the given z value. Okay. So how do we use the z table? So ito yung zoom. Zoom ko lang na area or part ng z table. So the vertical part is the z values actually. Yung vertical and horizontal part ng z-table is tinatawag natin yung z-values, no? So, in-specify lang natin. So, this is for for specification purposes na. Ayan. So, the horizontal part is the hundredths place of a z-value. So, meaning to say, yung ones value and tenths value ng z-value natin ay kailangan natin tignan sa vertical part ng table. And then yung hundreds place, okay, or yung hundreds value ng ating z value, kailangan natin siya tignan dun sa horizontal part ng ating table. So, paano siya gamitin? So, let's say, for example, we are looking for the we are looking for the area, okay, of a z value given 0.11. Okay, so sabi ko nga kanina, kailangan muna tayong tumingin dun sa vertical part natin, dun sa vertical part ng table. So yung unang dalawang digits niya from 0 ay 0 at 1. So 0.1. So hanapin lang natin yung 0.1. Ito yon. Okay, then hanapin natin yung hundredths values which is 0.01. Okay, ayan siya. And now yung intersection nitong dalawang to, ayun na yung magiging value natin. Or yun na yung value or yung area ng z value natin. So when z is equal to 0.11, the area under that region is equivalent to 0.5438. Okay? Now, there are cases, okay, in identifying the values of the shaded area, okay, ng z values. So meron tayong tatlong cases. Okay, so I will present to you the first case, which is when the z value is to the left, okay, tandaan natin to the left, or any related terms, example, below, less than, just write the value we obtained from the z table. So wala tayong gagawin, no? So i-locate lang natin yung value na, yung value ng z value dun sa z table. Okay, para makuha natin yung sagot. As long as na meron tayong keywords na to the left or other related terms like below or less than. Okay? So let's have example number 1. Ayan. So example number 1 natin, meron tayong case na kung saan yung z value natin is in probability form. So pag ganito, lagi nyo lang titingnan yung equality symbol natin. Okay? So pag ang equality symbol natin ay less than, and then nakaganito siyang itsura, nakaganitong form, probability form, i-apply natin yung note number 1. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan, probability of z value is less than 1.15. Okay, so this is the normal curve. Okay, representation of normal curve of our given. So 1.15 is somewhere here. Ayan, dyan. And then, sabi, the z value or the region for the z value is less than 1.15. So, ito yon. Ito yung area or region. Kailangan natin makuha yung value using the z table. Okay, so ito na yung z table natin. Then, we are looking for 1.15. So, sabi ko nga, hanapin muna natin sa vertical part. So, ayan yung 1.1. And then we are looking for the hundredths place, which is equivalent to 0.05. Ayan. So, yung intersection nila is 0.8749. So, we can conclude that the area that corresponds to the probability of z value less than 1.15 is 0.8749. So, wala tayong ginawa, no? In-identify lang natin using the z table kung ano yung value ng z less than 1.15. Okay? So let's proceed to example number 2. So ayan, ganun pa rin. Pansinin natin yung equality symbol that is, not equality, inequality symbol which is less than. The probability of z value is less than negative 0.33. So this is the graph of the given. So negative 0.33 is somewhere here. And then since it's less than, we're looking for the area, okay, under this. So using the z table again, so nabanggit ko na kanina no, na meron tayong positive and negative values ng z table. So our given z value is negative 0.33. So we're gonna look for negative 0.3 first. Ayan siya. And then we're looking for the hundredths place, which is equivalent to 0.03. Ito yan, no? Ayan. So the intersection of these two will give us the value. Okay. Ayan. So the area that corresponds to the probability of z less than negative 0.33 is 0.3707. Okay. So meaning yung area nito, itong shaded region na to, ang value niya ay 0.3707. Ayan. So example number 3. So find the area that corresponds below. Ayan. Meron tayong keyword na below. Z, which is equivalent to negative 1.35. So again, this is the normal curve. The graph of a normal curve given the value of z. So negative 1.35 is somewhere here. Okay. And then we're looking for the shaded region. Ito. Okay. So below siya, no? Below. Ayan. Okay. So, ayan. So we are looking for negative 1.35. So negative 1.3. And then we are looking for 0.05. And then that will give us the area that corresponds below z is equal to negative 1.35 is 0.0885. Okay. Now we move on to the second case in solving or finding the value of the shaded region using the z table. Ayan. So note number 2, when the z value is to the right or any related terms, let's say for example above, greater than, subtract 1 by the obtained value from the z table. So So subtract natin sa 1 whatever the value na makikita natin sa Z table. Okay, and then do not forget the keywords like to the right or above or greater than. Okay. So example number 4. So kung kanina meron tayong kino-consider kapag naka-probability form yung given, meron din tayong i-consider for note number 2. So sa note number 1, the inequality symbol is less than. So sa note number 2 natin, pansinin natin yung ating inequality symbol which is greater than. Okay? So pag graph natin siya, ito yung normal curve graph niya. So 2.64 is somewhere here. And then we are looking for the shaded region. Ito yung shaded region niya. No? So Z is greater than. So meaning to say, mas mataas na 2.64. So gagamitin natin yung Z table ulit para makuha natin yung value ng shaded region na to. Okay? So that will give us 2.6. Okay? And then ayun yung 0.04 and then the intersection of that will give us the value. Now, may kailangan tayong gawin no, dito sa value na nakuha natin sa Z table. So, sabi doon, we need to subtract it to 1. So probability of Z, it should be greater than 2.64. Ayan, it should be greater than. Okay? Is equal to 1 minus 0.9957. That is equivalent to 0.0043. So now we can conclude that the area that corresponds to probability of Z greater than 2.64, okay, 2.64 yan, is 0.0043. Okay? Ayan. Let's proceed to example number 5. So, probability of Z greater than negative 3.21. So, pansinin ulit natin the inequality symbol which is greater than. So, pag graph natin siya, negative 3.21 is somewhere here. Okay, and then we are looking for the shaded, for the area of this shaded region. Okay. So, using again the Z table, we are looking for negative 3.2. So, ito siya. And then we are looking for 0.01. Ayun. And then the intersection of this is 0.0007. Okay? And then mayroong condition na hinihingi. We need to subtract it. Oh, ayun na naman. Mali na naman yung symbol. Dapat greater than yan. So 1 minus 0.0007, that will give us 0.9993. Okay? So we can conclude that the area that corresponds to probability of Z greater than negative 3.21 is 0.9993. Okay, example number 6. Find the area to the right of Z is equal to negative 1.35. So pansinin natin, to the right, meron tayong keyword na to the right. So ito yung normal curve niya, normal curve graph. So negative 1.35 is somewhere here. And then we're looking to the right. Ayan, dito sa area na to. Okay. So we're going to use again the Z table. So we're going to look for negative 1.3 first. Ayun siya. Then we're looking for 0.05. Ayun. And then the intersection will give us the value of 0.0885. Again, there's a condition na kailangan sundin for note number 2. So we're gonna subtract 1 minus 1 minus 0.0885. That will give us 0.9915. And then we can conclude that the area to the right of Z is equal to negative 1.35 is 0.9915. Okay, so ito na yung last dun sa ating 3 cases, no? In solving the area under the normal curve. So when the shaded region is in between of the two Z values, subtract the biggest by the smallest value obtained from the Z table. So shaded region is in between. So meaning to say, meron tayong given na 2 z value. And then the condition we need to satisfy is kailangan nating isubtract yung biggest value sa smallest value na makukuha natin sa Z table. So let's have an example for this one. Example number 7. So in probability form, so probability of 0.3, probability of Z greater than 0.3 but less than 2.61. When we graph that, magiging ganito yung itsura niya. So 0.3 is somewhere here, and then 2.61 is somewhere here. Okay? Ayan. So sabi, Z is greater than 0.3. Okay, so ito kung andito yung 0.3, ito yung area niya. And then sabi dito, ang Z is less than 2.61. If this is 2.61, ito yung area niya. So ayan, meron silang nag-combine, no, yung shaded region nila. So applying the condition for this, so we need to get the value of Z less than 0.3 first, no? Ayan. So just simply 0.3. So looking for 0.3. And then since 0, 0, ayan. So the intersection will give us 0.6179. So hold lang natin yan dyan. Then hanapin natin yung value ng Z, which is 2.61. Excuse. So ayan, so 2.6. And then we're looking for 0.01. Ayun siya. And then the intersection will give us 0.9955. So again, sabi doon yung Z value na mas mataas, okay? Kailangan natin i-subtract yung mas mababa na Z value. Ayan. So 2.61 is greater than 0.3. So the value based on the table of 2.61 is 0.9955 minus the value of 0.3, which is 0.6179. Okay? Ito yun based yun dito sa table natin. So, when we subtract that, that will give us 0.3776. So, meaning to say the area under the region of this given Z values is 0.3776. Okay, so let's have example number 8. So, ganun pa rin, no? Probability pa rin. Ayan. So, kailangan lang naman natin i-satisfy, no? Na yung 2.61, since yung 2.61 na Z value is greater than negative 1.23 na Z value, so kailangan natin i-subtract yung Z value ng negative 1.23 sa 2.61. Ayan. So, pag hinanap nyo using the table, okay, the value for 2.61 is 0.9955. And for negative 1.23 is 0.1093. So when we subtract these two, that will give us 0.8862. Okay? Ayan. So we're gonna proceed in our second lesson for module number 4. Ayan, which is about converting a normal random variable to a standard normal variable and vice versa. So let's have the formula first in converting a random variable x to a standard normal variable z. So we're gonna use the z formula, no? So ito yung paghanap natin ng z value. Okay? So z is equal to the random variable x minus the mean all over the standard deviation. Ayan. Makikita naman natin siya, standard normal score or the z-score. Then any data value in a normal distribution, the mean, and then the symbol for standard deviation. Okay, so example number 1. So suppose IQ scores are normally distributed with a mean of 100 and standard deviation of 10. If your IQ is 85, what is your z-score? So ayan, meron tayong condition. We need to round off our answer to the nearest hundredths. So given, we're gonna first identify the given, no? So our random variable is 85. Ito yun, no? Ayan. And then we have the mean, which is given, 100. And the standard deviation of 10. Now, using the formula, okay, in solving the z-score, we're just going to substitute, no, whatever the values of the variables. Ayan. So our x is 85, and then our mean is 100, then our standard deviation is 10, and then let's just evaluate this. 85 minus 100, that will give us negative 15. Yeah, it's negative 15, then divided by 10, that will give us, oh, it should be negative 1 point. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's have example number 2. Ayan. Example number 2, on a nationwide placement test that is normally distributed, the mean was 125 and standard deviation was 15. If you scored 149, what was your z-score? Round off your answer to the nearest hundredths. So again, we're going to identify first the given values. So our x is 149. So this is the random value or random variable. So let's have the mean, which is 125. And then we have the standard deviation equivalent to 50. Now, since we already have the values, we can solve it now. So z-score is equal to the difference of the given random variable and the mean all over the standard deviation. Substitute lang natin 149 minus 125 all over 15. That will give us a z-score of 1.60. So pansinin natin, no, naka-hundredths. Round off siya into the nearest hundredths, 1.60. Okay, let's proceed to example number 3. So the heights of teachers in Santa Catalina National High School are normally distributed with a mean of 150 centimeters and standard deviation of 15 centimeters. So the height of Sir Victor has a z-score of 3.25. What is the actual height of Sir Victor? Round off your answer to the nearest hundredths. So here in example number 3, meron tayong gagawin dun sa original formula in solving the z-score. Since ang hinahanap natin dito is yung actual height ni Sir Victor. Okay? So let's have the given first. So the z-score ay given. So kanina, di ba, ang hinahanap natin sa previous examples ay yung z-score. So dito, ang given natin ay yung z-score, which is 3.25. Then given din yung mean, which is 150. And then given din yung standard deviation na 15 centimeters. Okay, so ang nawawala dito is yung actual height ni Sir Victor or yung random variable natin. Okay? So for the solution, we need to derive the original formula, no, in order for us to have this formula for finding or solving the random variable x. Okay, so x is equal to the z-score times the standard deviation plus the mean. Okay, so substituting the values, our z-score is 3.25, our standard deviation is 15, then our mean is 150. Then that will give us the exact height of Sir Victor, which is equivalent to 198.75. Again, do not forget the unit of measurement since we're talking about height, and the given are in centimeters, so our final answer will be in centimeter as well. So the height of Mr. Victor is 198.75 centimeters. Okay. Ayan. So example number 4. The time it takes for a cell to divide is normally distributed with an average of 60 minutes and standard deviation of 5 minutes. How long will it take for a given cell to divide if its mitosis has a z-score of negative 1.35? I guess ito yung sa ano no, yung meiosis and mitosis sa biology. Okay? So let's identify first a given. So z, again, meron tayong value ng z-score which is equivalent to, well, it should be negative 1.35. Okay, palitan natin, ilagay natin ng negative to, negative 1.35. Then our mean is 60. Okay. And then our standard deviation is equivalent to 5 minutes. Okay, for the solution, since the unknown is the random variable, so hanapin lang natin, x is equal to the random variable z times the standard deviation plus the mean. Okay. So, ayan, it should be negative 1.35, okay, times 5, which is our standard deviation plus 60. So that will give us an answer of, so negative 1.35 times 5 is negative 6.75 plus 60. That will give us an answer of 53.25 minutes. Okay? Highlight lang natin. So, these are my references. Okay, online references. Then, ito yung ating references na books sa module. Yan. Okay. So, that's all for today. Let's just wait for my announcement in our GC for our activity number 3 and activity number 4. So, thank you and God